Heartbreaking and unexpected, Menglong's mother fell ill from grief after her son's shocking death. How much sorrow can a mother's heart endure when faced with such an unbearable loss? Could her illness be the hidden tragedy behind the tragedy? Stay with Red Carpet Revealed as we uncover and explore the truth right now. The heartbreaking news that shook an entire nation was not only the sudden and shocking death of Menglong, a beloved actor and singer, but also the devastating collapse of the person who loved him the most, his mother. As soon as the tragedy unfolded, whispers spread of a woman too broken to endure. A mother whose heart shattered the moment she was told her son was gone. Today, the world watches as grief takes its toll, and the story of her decline reveals a pain far deeper than anyone imagined. Outside their modest family home, hundreds of fans stood in silence, their faces streaked with tears, flickering in trembling hands. White chrysanthemums lay in piles by the gates, handwritten letters tucked between bouquets, and photographs of Menglong, smiling in better days, stood propped against the walls like eternal guardians. Reporters described the atmosphere as heavy and suffocating, as if the very air mourned with him. Whispered of the moment his mother learned the news, saying she collapsed instantly, her body unable to withstand the blow. She screamed once, then fainted. One neighbor recounted, own voice shaking, "We thought we had lost her too." When she regained consciousness, her cries echoed through the house. She called her son's name over and over, clutching at family members, begging them to tell her it was a mistake. Her voice was hoarse, her hands trembling violently. Within hours, doctors were called to examine her, and they confirmed what everyone feared: her body was succumbing to grief. The shock had caused her blood pressure to spike, her heart to falter, and her mind to sink into despair. She is not just physically ill, one doctor admitted quietly to journalists. She is suffering from heartbreak that medicine cannot cure. The image of a grieving mother spread quickly across media outlets. Photographs captured her seated before her son's portrait, her frail figure bent, her eyes swollen from endless tears. In one picture, she reached out as if to touch his face through the glass frame. That image went viral within minutes, captioned with the words like "A mother's sorrow knows no end, and the pain of loss is deeper than death itself." Fans worldwide reacted with anguish, many saying they could not bear to see her like that. One comment that was shared tens of thousands of times read simply, "No one should bury their child. No mother should suffer this." As more details emerged, it became clear that her health was deteriorating rapidly. She refused food, pushing away the bowls of rice and soup placed gently in front of her. She barely spoke except to whisper her son's name, ask where he had gone. Family members revealed that she would sit by the window for hours, looking into the distance, as though waiting for him to come home. Every shadow she sees, she thinks it's him, a relative said softly. Every creak of the door, she looks up, hoping. The nation's attention turned from mourning Menglong to worrying for his mother. Hashtags such as "Pray for Mother" and "Heartbroken Family" trended across social media, with millions of fans urging her to hold on, to stay strong. Many wrote messages of support: "Your son lives on in us. Please don't give up." Others organized prayer circles and vigils, chants rising into the night sky as though carried to the heavens. Collective grief expanded, not only for the star who was gone, but for the woman whose life now hung in the balance. Her condition became the subject of endless discussion on talk shows, radio programs, and live streams. Experts explained that grief can cause real, threatening illnesses: broken heart syndrome, stress-induced heart failure, severe depression that manifests in the body. "We underestimate the physical toll of grief," a medical expert explained. But for a mother, losing a child is the most devastating blow imaginable. Body responds as though it cannot continue. But beyond the science was the sheer human sorrow. Witnesses described her home as filled with wails and silence in equal measure, as though the walls themselves absorbed her pain. A smell of incense lingered in every corner, the portrait of her son surrounded by offerings of fruit and flowers. Night, neighbors said. The sound of her crying pierced through the quiet streets. "It's the kind of cry that makes your soul ache," one said. "It is the cry of the mother who has lost everything." The situation became even more haunting when relatives revealed that, before fainting again during one particularly overwhelming episode, she whispered something chilling: "Take me with you." And those words, repeated by family members, spread quickly across the internet. leaving fans stunned and heartbroken. Commentators said it captured the depth of her despair in a way nothing else could. It was not just grief she felt. Longing to follow him into the next world. Unable to imagine a life without him. As part one of this tragic story closes, the image of Yu Menglong's mother, frail, broken, and fighting not only sickness but an ocean of sorrow, lingers in the minds of millions. Her illness has become more than a personal tragedy, it is a symbol of the weight of grief. The devastating cost of losing someone too soon. The world holds its breath, waiting for updates on her condition. One question echoes louder than all: will she survive this heartbreak? Or will grief claim her too? Red Carpet Revealed will continue to follow this story, uncovering the truth behind her illness, words she left unspoken, and the ripple effect of Yu Menglong's shocking death. For now, the nation watches, prays, and weeps for a mother's broken heart. The days following Yu Menglong's shocking death blurred into a haze of grief. While fans across the nation wept, it was his mother who carried the heaviest burden. By the second week, her health had deteriorated so severely that she was rushed to the hospital. Eyewitnesses described the haunting sight of paramedics carrying her frail body through the crowd gathered outside her home. She clutched a framed photograph of her son even as she was placed onto a stretcher, whispering his name through cracked lips. The image circulated worldwide, igniting both sorrow and outrage. Doctors revealed that her condition was far more serious than initial reports suggested. She suffered not only from dangerously high blood pressure and heart palpitations, but also from a severe breakdown triggered by emotional shock. Body is fighting, one physician told reporters solemnly. But grief is the real illness here. Medicine alone can cure that. This statement reverberated across headlines, sparking debates about how much sorrow a human heart can withstand before it gives way. From her hospital bed, Yu Menglong's mother became the new symbol of a nation's grief. Photographs showed her lying pale and motionless, the framed portrait of her son always by her side. Nurses confessed she often awoke in the night crying out for him, her voice echoing down the sterile halls of the hospital. Family members revealed she refused to eat, only taking sips of water when urged. Each day, she asked the same heartbreaking question: is he really gone? And each day, did not bear to answer. The public's reaction only grew stronger. Fans organized vigils outside the hospital, holding candles and singing Yu Menglong's songs as a show of solidarity. They raised banners reading, "Stay strong. For you and you are not alone." Donations poured in from across the globe, with online fundraisers generating millions in support of her medical care. Hashtags like "Pray for Yu Mother" and "Justice for Yu Menglong" trended globally, uniting people of all ages and backgrounds in collective mourning. Celebrities and colleagues who had once stood beside Yu Menglong on stage or screen now came forward to comfort his mother. They arrived at the hospital with bouquets and tears deeply before her, calling her the mother of us all. One actress who had co-starred with Yu in a beloved drama held her hand and sobbed, to carry on his legacy. Another musician vowed to dedicate his next album to both Yu and his mother, saying, "Pain is our pain. Her tears are the tears of every parent who has lost a child." Yet amid the public displays of love and support, there was also a darker undercurrent. Rumors swirled about the circumstances of Yu Menglong's death. Whispers of mismanagement, exploitation, betrayal. His mother, though too weak to speak often, lately uttered one chilling line to her relatives during a lucid moment: "They stole him from me." That sentence, once leaked to the media, set fire to speculation. Who was they? Was she referring to the industry, the agencies? Something even more sinister? Commentators debated endlessly, and the mystery only deepened her tragic aura. Cultural critics noted that her suffering resonated so deeply because it reflected the universal fear of every parent, losing a child. In East Asian tradition, the bond between mother and son is revered as sacred, and her devastation became a collective wound. News programs analyzed the cultural weight of her sorrow, drawing parallels with historical figures who had endured similar grief. Editorials declared, "It's not just Yu Menglong's mother, she is every mother who has lost." The pressure of her condition forced the hospital to increase security, as fans flooded the premises to catch even a glimpse of her or to deliver gifts of comfort. Some brought quilts embroidered with the words of strength, painted portraits of her with her son, while many simply knelt outside, weeping silently. A particularly powerful moment captured by journalists showed her raising her trembling hand from the hospital window, acknowledging the crowd below. The gesture sparked an outpouring of emotion. People collapsed to their knees, chanting her name, promising they would never abandon her. A single wave of her hand became a viral image, captioned everywhere with the phrase, "Even in grief, she reaches out." As days turned into weeks, health fluctuated. There were moments of stability when she seemed calmer, offering prayers before her son's portrait. And there were moments of crisis when doctors rushed into her room as alarms blared. The update from the hospital was reported live, treated with the same urgency as breaking political news. The world was no longer just watching her, they were holding their breath with her, willing her to survive. Despite her fragility, she showed moments of resilience that inspired millions. At one point, during a visit from close family members, she reportedly said, "I will live, because his memory must live." That statement, though simple, was hailed as a turning point, a glimmer of hope amid despair. And seized upon her words, turning them into banners, songs, and tributes. They vowed to carry Menglong's legacy forward. Sure, his art and his story would never be forgotten. At the end of the second month, her image had transformed into something larger than life. She was no longer just a grieving mother, she was the embodiment of endurance, of the human spirit refusing to break completely even when shattered. Documentaries began chronicling her journey. Journalists called her the nation's heart, and global media outlets described her as a symbol of love stronger than death. Yet the story remained unfinished. She fought bravely. Her body was still frail, future uncertain, and the words she had whispered, "They stole him from me," continued to haunt the public, sparking calls for deeper investigations, for accountability, for truth. As Red Carpet Revealed closes this second chapter, one thing is clear: the world is not only mourning Menglong, but also standing vigil for the woman who gave him life and now suffers most from his loss. Her tears are now the nation's tears, the nation's wound. And as millions wait for the next chapter, a single question lingers in the air: can a mother's love outlast the pain of losing her only son? Or will grief claim her entirely? The story is not over. It is only deepening.